Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Faith Through the Fire podcast. Happy Friday. Today, I am joined by two very special guests.
Kylie Kylie.
For those of you who are listening and not watching, it's going to be kind of confusing, especially if you don't know their voice, because my two guests are Kylie and Kylie.
Spelled the same.
Literally. They've both been on the podcast by now that you're listening to this, so that's exciting. Thank you guys for coming back.
Thanks for having us.
It is also currently like 1 degree outside, and we are in the sunroom, and we have iced coffees still. Yeah. So true New England girls. But today we're just gonna have a fun girl chat. We've had kind of a past few couple heavy podcasts, and so we're just gonna have a fun chat and just talk about all things girl stuff. So yeah,
I'm excited.
It's gonna be good. Okay, starting off with, I feel like a question we all need to start off with is, what were our first impressions of each other? Whoever wants to go.
I'll go. My first impression, let's start with Kayla. I think it was like the first time I walked into Bible study and you were the leader. Just the way you spoke, I'm like, this girl is wise, and you were beautiful, and just like, you just like attracted so many people with who you are. And then I spoke to you and I was like, this is the most kind, loving person I've ever met in my life. And I just instantly knew we were going to be best friends. This girl over here. When I saw you, I was like, oh my goodness, your style was like incredible. I was like, this girl got style. And you were so beautiful. And then the way you spoke, again, like Kayla, you were just so kind and compassionate and loving. And I was like, and then you said your name's Kylie. So I'm like, I know we're going to be best friends.
I'll start with Kylie. We met at Bible study. I think you just had the most fun, infectious personality. And obviously we had the same name, so it was instant love. Instant love. But you were just so genuine and authentic to you. And I feel like it's a superpower, so I just love that. And then Kayla, I also met at Young Adults, and she came up and talked to me when I went there alone, and that was just like a really kind thing to do. And then we chatted very briefly, but we instantly vibed, and I said, oh, I think this girl's gonna be my girl.
My girl.
And now we're roomies, so it's crazy, but you were just like amazing, and yeah, she was just so wise from the very beginning. So I knew that I'd have a bestie who loves Jesus. But yeah.
That's so sweet. Wow. Okay, I'm going to start with Kylie in the pink. It's so interesting because I honestly don't really, like, I remember meeting you when you guys came to Young Adults with, like, all the college people, but I feel like that night there were so many new people that I was meeting. Yeah. But I remember thinking, first of all, I remember being low-key intimidated by you and Tegan because I was, like, not in, like, the way you're thinking, because I'm, like, I haven't been in college in so long. I'm, like, I can't vibe with these college girls anymore, like, you know? And, but I remember you guys just kept coming, and, like, Kylie was saying, like, your personality is so infectious and your smile like lights up an entire room, and I just remember thinking, like, oh, this girl. But then when you guys came back to Young Adults and like we started to get close, like, your heart is so kind and you just love everyone so much. And yeah, other Kylie. Roomy Kylie. My first impression of you, I saw you like sitting by yourself, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to this girl. We talked, it was good, whatever, like we did totally vibe. And then I was like, okay, let's get coffee. This was my real first impression of you. I show up to coffee in sweats, Crocs, a hoodie, full on Kayla comfy, right? Kylie pulls up in this, her hair is gorgeous, her makeup is done, she's in this beautiful dress. Dress. Beautiful dress. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am severely underdressed. But we just instantly bonded. Yeah. And I never thought we'd be roommates, but here we are.
Yeah, I didn't
And
either.
It works somehow.
You're a girl
I know that
of style. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm just a girly girl. Mm-hmm. No, but that was so funny when you showed up and in sweats, and I was in a dress, and I was like, oh, we didn't really talk about it. But like, didn't, you know.
It
it's
also
just, like,
explains our personalities to the T.
Yeah, but like also like just didn't matter at all. I feel like we sat down and we were just like,
yeah,
you know, we just got into it immediately, and I feel like that is kind of just how our friendship has gone since.
No, it's true. It's true. But I just remember feeling like, oh my gosh. See, but I feel like you've helped me embrace my feminine side more of just like wanting to like tune into that more and like dress up more and whatever. So that's kind of cool too.
You told me that too. Just by the way you dress. I'm just like, I need to be like that. Like, it's amazing.
Or even like how, like, I never thought leaving the house with wet hair was like a bad thing. Until Kylie was like, yeah, I just like, that's not it, kind of a thing.
Well,
and I get it.
Sometimes.
I know, but like, it's not.
Mine is never going to look good.
Yeah.
Like if I leave with wet hair,
I just never used to think twice about it.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah.
And again, not that it's bad, but it's just more like, I don't know, self-awareness.
No, it's not bad. It's just I know my hair will never look good if I walk out with it wet. Like it's gonna dry how it dries, and it's gonna be rough.
Which, okay, this isn't how I was planning on taking this, but what's the, like, for you guys, what's the line between like looking good for the Lord? Because I think there's an aspect where like I've had to also learn that like maybe I shouldn't go to the grocery store in like sweats. Which is fine, but like, you know, maybe I could look a little bit more presentable. So what's the line of like looking put together and presentable for the Lord, but it not being like vain and over the top and out of like a conceitful way, if that makes sense?
I think it's like your heart posture, like how you're like if you're putting something on and you're like looking at yourself like, ooh, does this make me like look good, like in these areas, like kind of picking things out instead of being like am I pleasing to the Lord right now? Like I think it just all comes down to your heart your heart your heart posture towards it and your purity. And I think like for a while that was something that like I was struggling with, because like I was like going to the gym in these kind of skimpy outfits and like just wanting to feel good, but I never felt good. And it wasn't until the Lord kind of like convicted me of that where I've totally changed, and I'm like, am I being modest? Like, am I like, if a man looks at me right now, like, am I helping him or not? Like, because we're women, you know, like they're struggling too as much as we are. So yeah.
That's a really good question. I don't feel like I've thought about it in the sense that you're talking about. Like, should I be more presentable for the Lord? I often...
Did I answer the question right? Okay.
You did. I'm just like...
Okay, you're doing
the other direction. I am also sometimes guilty, like on a weekend, especially if I am going to the grocery store like really early, like there's no shot. Like I'm not wearing sweatpants, but I don't know. I do think it really is the heart posture, and I mean, I guess if we're dressing modestly, like that's a good start. Like if we're in sweats and we're dressed modestly and we're just trying to go to the grocery store really quick, like I don't think that, you know, like that really like matters too much. And you saying that, like Loki's a little convicting to me, because like I do love putting together outfits. I love like getting dressed up, and I don't think I always think about like, okay, what is my like heart posture in doing this, because it's just something like I genuinely enjoy and it's really fun for me. But I think that honestly I could do better about just like making sure like my heart is in the right place when doing that.
I think too, like there's no way I think that I don't think going to the grocery store in sweats is a bad thing at all. So like, don't take me the wrong way, because I do it all the time. All
the time.
I think it's more like I want to look like I represent the kingdom, and like I want what I'm wearing to represent what's in my heart, you know? And so like it's something I have been on a journey of, because I'm so opposite of like, I grew up being told like dress like a boy, because if you dress like with makeup on or look really good, then they're seeing you at your best, not your worst. So you should like look your worst when you meet your husband, kind of a thing. And so
what
cult things. So it's been a lot of unlearning for me to be like, no, it's okay to dress up. Actually, it's maybe holy to like dress like a girl, like I'm made to be. And it's okay to like tune into that. And it's been like a big learning curve for me to be like, no, it's okay if I like look half decent. If I meet my future husband, he's still gonna love me even when I look terrible, you know. So I think for me it's the opposite of like, no, like actually like you like I'm working to like become more fashionable and not just wear like leggings and a hoodie, because that is genuinely what I'm most comfortable in, but also like learning fashion and it being something that is holy and pleasing to the Lord and not something that but I think heart posture, like both of you are saying, is very important. So
Guys, I did not answer. Can we cut mine out?
you can answer again. Okay. I think you did answer it.
You did.
literally
I also
did.
think you brought in the other side of it that is also like,
yeah, you brought
I
in,
need that.
Yeah.
I need you to say that for me,
yeah.
Loki.
Yeah. Well, we all struggle with it.
We do. It's very like dressing to impress other people or like look good so that maybe someone notices you is very real as a girl, and like I'm sure as a guy too, but obviously we're girls. It's very real. And like I remember in high school dressing in like stuff I was not comfortable in, but like because I'm like, well, I know this is what the guys want to see, and so I would be wearing the skimpiest of outfits at parties or wherever, and I was not comfortable. Like I wish I was in leggings and a hoodie. I would have felt so much better, but I knew that what I was wearing was what they wanted to see, and that's why I wore that, and that's not holy or pleasing to the Lord, in case anyone is wondering.
Yeah, that's so hard because I think my personal style is not, I think it is very modest. I tend to be like, you know, I feel like I dress pretty classy in my outfits, but it is like about the heart, and it's like, okay, like I'm getting not all dressed up, but you know, I feel like it also is kind of difficult as like someone who's single, and you're like, my husband can be out there, and like you don't want to be looking busted, so it's like you know, so it's like, okay, let me just like get ready, I want to like look good, but like there could be something flawed in that heart posture of like wanting to like look good just in case your husband.
And I don't think that's a bad thing though. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's more like if you're wanting to like look good for in case you meet someone, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's more like, are you accentuating things that maybe shouldn't be accentuated to get attention?
Dams.
What is the worst breakup you've gone through?
We've already talked about my worst breakup. 3 years ago, as of 2 days ago. I don't know what to talk about.
Okay, let's just say, if you could go back to yourself in that breakup, what would you say?
Let him go.
That's very real.
That's very real.
Just let him go, I would say. Really held on to that far too long.
Yeah.
And it hurts so bad. But most likely if you're breaking up, there's something even better out there. And that chapter is supposed to be over. So just let go. Heal. Yeah.
Mine was in college. I think we broke up a year and a half ago. That was really hard because that's when I was like kind of starting my faith journey. So I was like very lukewarm, and I got into this relationship, and like I was head over heels over the sky, like literally thought I was like end of the world when we broke up. And it was a little messy because he did a little cheating on me, which like really hurt. And honestly though, like looking back at it, like the Lord was there, and everything that happened was for a reason. He brought me, like that's why I'm here right now and like where I am. But it was definitely very hard because again, like college, your like emotions are so heightened, and you think that this is gonna be the man you marry, and then when it ends pretty badly, it's like, oh yeah, it was a mess. You saw me as a mess. But the Lord is sovereign, and he saved me, and he moved that man across the country.
I do remember when you called me and you were like, he's moving to Florida. Was it Florida?
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Yeah. Whatever.
Bye. But it was still hard. It was
yeah.
still super hard. Even when he moved, like, I didn't like realize how much healing I had to go through.
Yeah,
Still,
that's fair. What advice would you give yourself then from where you are now?
Yeah, I think to fully trust that like God's plan is so much better than mine. What I anticipated in that relationship, like, couldn't even exceed what God was gonna do and what He's gonna give me in the future, and bless me with. Just to take my time with the healing and not to rush it, and know that it is gonna be hard, but on the other end of it is gonna be so beautiful. And that I'm going to get through it, and it's going to be okay. Because for a while, I didn't think it would be okay.
Breakups are literally the worst.
They're so
The worst.
They are
bad.
awful. My worst breakup. I've gone through a couple, but I think my worst one was with the boy I dated when I moved down here. I almost said his name. We had been on and off for like, I think a couple years, and I had like just found the Lord, and he had just found the Lord, and we were kind of trying again, and I don't even know if we were officially dating, but it was still a breakup, and it was awful. Like, it was so hard. I felt like I couldn't be with him, or I shouldn't be with him because I wanted to pursue the Lord, but I don't know. I treated the situation wrongly too. I kind of just cut him off and like, yeah, did what I had to do to like survive and get through it and obey, but also wasn't the most loving thing I could have done either, or loving way I could have done it. And so it was just like super hard. I really like, he was the one for me. I thought, like, I was madly in love with him and had been since I was like 12. So I was like, of course he's the one I'm going to marry, right? Like, this is what happens to everyone, you know? And so, yeah, but you know, the Lord heals, and yeah.
What advice would you give yourself going through that time?
Thank you, host Kylie. I think similar to what you were saying, Kylie, of just like let him go, but also like I wish I had left him better off than I found him, and I wish I had like lifted him up. And I didn't know, like, I didn't know how to, like, do not date when you're 17 or 18 or 19. Like, I mean, unless you're wicked mature, but like,
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to date properly. And I wish I had lifted him up and like left him off better than I started. So I think that would be one piece of advice. But also, like, I think I would have actually told myself to like let myself feel the hurt, because I think in some ways I didn't let myself grieve it because I thought it was what I was supposed to do. Yeah. And so now I feel like there's certain areas where like I still grieve it sometimes because I didn't let myself fully grieve it then. And so there's times now where like I have to, like, I'll have a good cry or just like grieve it because I didn't let myself cry when I broke up with him. Like, I didn't let myself feel it. So yeah, let yourself feel it.
Yeah, seriously.
I think that's the fastest way to get through it. Okay. Who of us is most likely to disappear and not reply for 3 days?
It's not me.
It's probably me.
I think it's you.
When I
Yeah.
said that question, I said Kayla.
Kayla.
Not for any reason other than,
Well, I'm just bad at replying.
yeah,
sometimes.
like, it's just things got away from you. And,
Yeah.
like, you're busy. Like, you have a lot of commitments, so.
Okay, wait, but like also you have never not answered my text.
Yeah, I'll always answer. Always answer.
Oh, wait, what's the like question?
Just who's most likely to disappear and not reply for 3 days?
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
like, yeah, you'll answer. It's I feel like now it's like prompt. Like, you're
Yeah, I
texting
try
back.
to do better.
But if there was anybody, it would be Kayla.
Yeah. yeah.
I like literally my problem is a lot of times when people text me, like there's something they want me to do in the text, or like there's something I need to do, so then I know I will forget, so then I'll go do it, but then I'll forget to respond, or that happens with my mom a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your funniest / worst date story? Kylie in the white has gone on a lot of dates. I feel like you are the one out of all of us who have gone on the most dates. So I'm guessing you have some good stories.
Oh.
So tell us your funniest or worst one.
Funniest or worst one?
Probably one that's going to make us laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, like, I feel like I went out with a lot of good, like, genuinely like good guys. It's not even like overly funny, but I went on this date with this one guy, and it was like kind of like middle of the day, like mid-afternoon, and we went like thrifting. A super sweet guy was just like holding my stuff as we walked up and down the aisles, and I was like, wow, like, this is so great. But like, you know, like we were having a good time. I wasn't thinking like husband in my mind, but it was good. And then we ended up going to get like boba tea after, and it was like right near where we were thrifting, so we just drove my car. So I drove us to get tea, and then we drove back to like the thrift store parking lot. We were just talking, but it was getting later. He had like a longer drive back to where he was coming from, so at the end he was like, all right, well, you know, I have to go. And I said, okay. And he's like, do you think I can get a kiss before I leave? And I was like, I said, sorry, I'm not a first date kisser or something. Like, I'm sorry, I don't kiss on the first date. He said, oh, okay. So can we go out? Do you want to go out again? And I was like, I'm going to think about it.
You did not.
Did you guys go out again?
I never heard from that man
No.
again. I was like,
You busted his
like,
pride.
I said, like, let me get out of the car. Like, let me, you know, I'll give you a hug, and I hope you, you know, get home safe. Text me when you're back home. And
Also first of all, asking for a kiss immediately.
and like,
second of all, like, just kiss me. But also,
Yeah.
second of all, on a first date is wild.
on the first date, and we're literally sitting in my car, and it wasn't even like I'm leaning in, he's leaning in, the vibe is there. I'm like fully leaned back. I'm fully leaned back into my driver's side door because
Yeah.
we're just like chatting. Like, we could not be farther apart
Yeah, no.
in the car. Like, we're as far as you can be.
That's
apart.
also giving like high school.
And
We're gonna
I
make
was-
out in our car,
Right.
and that's a no.
I was like, wait, what? And also I'm thinking, like, it's 4 p.m. It's still light outside. What is happening? Like, it was not late enough. Nothing was right about it. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, we were having like some good conversation. So, and also I'm intentional. So really, after a first date, I like to just like go home, reflect, and actually like take the time to actually process, like, could this go somewhere? Am I excited about this? Could I see this moving forward? So I'm going to be intentional about that. So I don't want to kiss you on the first date. And 2, I'm just honest and I can't lie. And so me saying I'll think about the second date was like the most honest thing I could say. And yeah, it was bad. So I like get out, give him a hug, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, do you want your boba? He never had it before, and he said, no, it's okay. So like, he fully did not even like the tea at all. Never heard from him again. But for the best. I was like,
Let me just say that story haunts that man to this day. Maybe he'll never ask for a kiss on the first date
ever
again.
again.
I just like think about it, and I'm like, this man just like held my stuff like through the entire date, like up and down the aisles, the whole dress aisle, up and down. And then I'm like, he did that, bought me some stuff, and it, like, he didn't get that kiss or a second date, and he drove a long way, and he didn't even like his tea.
You know,
boba tea.
that does suck for him, but again,
know.
it's the if you're a man listening or watching this, okay,
If you're
let
a
us
man,
let us just actually, if you're a good godly man, you're probably not going to be asking for a kiss on the first date. Second of all, don't ask a girl to kiss them unless it's the first date.
Unless it's in like a sweet cutesy way
Yeah.
where already there's like everything is pointing to y'all are gonna kiss or you want to kiss. Unless it's like so overly obvious, please don't ask.
Yeah, just do it. Like,
or don't.
or don't. But
read the room
Yeah.
and just don't.
no, but like also, okay, maybe this is just me, but like I want, like, okay, not on the first date, but I want you to take initiative and just lead, you know? Like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna make the first move anymore because I am a daughter of God and we don't do that. So I'm just gonna follow you, okay? So just
Exactly.
make the move,
Yeah.
and I will follow, just not on the first date, okay?
Yeah, no. Anyways, so that's probably like the the only thing that comes to mind. But he's a sweet guy. It just was
I do remember
unfortunate.
actually hearing this story.
It was just unfortunate.
Okay, my worst date story. I honestly have not really gone on many dates at all. But this was last year, 2025. We were set up, like each of us were set up on a blind date. Like we had seen pictures of each other, but we were set up. I don't know if I think I've told you this. Yeah. So he lives like an hour and a half away. So we meet halfway, which was like, I don't know, an hour drive for me. And okay, this is sweet. Okay, first of all, this is a green flag. He was like given my number. I was expecting him to text me. He fully called me, and like never having talked to him, I didn't answer right away because I got nervous. So he left me a voice message and he was like, you know, please call me back. So we called and whatever. It was really sweet. And then like he didn't text me, which was nice. Like we weren't like getting to know each other over text. A few days before he was like, hey, looking forward, whatever. So it was like very sweet, very respectful.
Were you nervous?
I had just gotten back from Africa and this was in June. I had just gone back from Africa and had some sort of stomach disease where I was going to the bathroom like 17 times a day. And this was the day of the date. And I was like, I took so many Imodium, I can't even tell you.
Kayla? Oh my goodness.
So anyway, meet him, he gives me a hug. We go into one place and it's so loud. It's like a coffee bar kind of thing. Because we were in Massachusetts. And so we like walk down to this different place and I'm like, I have to run to the bathroom. So I just like, you know, a cute little girl go to the bathroom, you know, he doesn't know anything. I was like, if I order coffee, this is going to be so bad. So I was like, I'm just going to get black coffee because that's going to be like the best for me. So I barely drank it also. Anyway, so we sit down and we like talk and whatever. It's good. It's like an hour and a half in. And all of a sudden he's like, so what do you think about women preaching in the church? And I was like, oh, I know how you want me to answer this one. But obviously I was going to be honest. So I was just like, you know, biblically like, bring up the context of whatever. I believe that women should not necessarily be like the head of a church. I do believe that God calls like men to be the head of the church, but I was like, if a woman's teaching on a pastoral team or whatever, I do not think that's wrong. And he's like, well, I disagree. And he pulls up the passage of the scripture and starts reading it to me. And he was like, I was like, I totally like respect that. I was like trying to understand where he's coming from. I'm like, were you raised this way? Like whatever. And he was like, no, it's just my own conviction. I'm like, okay, like I totally respect that. Like, you know, I didn't say this to him because there was going to be no arguing and nor did I want to argue, but like the context of those passages were not even remotely how they're taken nowadays. But anyway, so he was like, so I have a list of like non-negotiables and being aligned on that's really high on the list. So with you saying that, like, we're not going to be a good fit. And I was like, I almost laughed when he said that because I was like, okay. And then he proceeds to ask me more questions for like 15 minutes. I'm like, well, if we're not a good fit, can I go home?
Yeah.
And
is
like,
he, like
go to the bathroom.
You like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, come to find out, also a non-negotiable for him is his wife having a home birth. So I was like,
I'm
okay.
here for home birth, but for it to
No,
be
absolutely not.
But for it to be a requirement,
I'm like, good luck getting married.
Like,
anyway,
requirements.
I wasn't gonna go on a second date with him anyways, so it's totally fine. And I think the whole story is hilarious, to be honest. I was so taken aback when he was like, that's high up on my list, so we're not going to be a good fit. I'm like, I'm glad we have clarity here. You know, I'll give that to the guy.
Like one day and done.
Yeah.
You didn't have to like.
But it does just make me cackle a little bit.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, but
that's like the only like somewhat of an interesting date I've been on because all the other ones have been sweet. So.
You can't ask me. Like,
I don't date enough.
I mean, I've never got treated the way I should.
I've been on some bad dates, but not. Yeah.
I've been on bad dates like within
yes, no, that's honestly the worst dates are within
oh
the
for sure
within the relationship.
Actually, I've only been on good dates.
But like,
have ever been in a restaurant crying at the table?
Not at the table, but had to go to the car.
It's like the abs are coming out and you're like, see ya.
Wait, that makes me so sad. Yeah. I like literally I remember these are like, okay, so this is the thing. Every date I was on in a relationship was sweet to the point where like the ex I was just talking about, he used to like, we would be sitting in a booth next to each other. I would give him my foot and he would rub my foot while we were waiting for our food.
Oh, that's so nice.
Or like my
Bare minimum.
my toes would be my toes would be cold, and so like I'd put them under his legs to warm them up. That makes me
very
so sad
nice.
that you guys would be crying in the restaurant.
I would be just sitting there fighting tears. The waitress comes over.
Yeah.
Actually, not
Aw.
even fighting tears. I think there's some tears.
Okay, I
that
did
fell.
have a really good date with my previous ex. Oh, am I gonna share it with them?
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
No, it was like so fun because we went, like, we got all dressed up. And we went to Boston to the Prudential Tower and went to all the way to the top to see like Boston, and it was just like so beautiful, and it was definitely like a very wholesome moment. Even like, he was like a good guy, like at points, but like I just will never forget it because it just like it was just so beautiful, and we went to get food after, and it was just like good vibes, but like yeah.
And on a high note, I love that.
Okay, and
Yeah.
No, that's
No,
like
that
you did. That was
Oh.
sweet. That was sweet.
Okay.
What's a green flag that people don't talk about enough?
In a man or like in general?
Let's go with a man, seeing as we're 3 single girls.
Green flag. I don't know. I feel like there's
a lot.
so many
That-
green flags, but I feel like a lot of people just talk about all the green flags.
I think a green flag that our world has, I think, is doing a better job at bringing around, but still struggles with, is men who aren't afraid to have feelings and feel their feelings and cry and like be emotional, or be like, okay, this is what I think is a real green flag. A man who on the exterior is like pretty tough, you know, he'll protect you in a heartbeat, but then on the inside and like when he interacts with someone is like the most softest, sweetest, kindest human being ever. I think that is such a green flag.
That is, and I just need to say, like, my dad is that person. Like, he will protect me at all costs, but, like, my dad will cry if I talk about something or anything. Like, he is a crier. He's a lover. And, like, that's why, like, when I see men nowadays and, like, I look for my dad.
Yeah.
Because we, like, emotional men, not, like, too emotional, but, like, who can portray their emotions in a healthy way and be loving. Like, that's just, like, the best.
Yeah. And I'm just a big feelings girl, so I need someone who's gonna like understand and not like be like too logical about my big feelings, because
You can't do the logical.
oh my gosh, if you're too logical, that's not a green. No, I'm kidding, because everyone's brains are different. But yeah,
I think the ability to set boundaries, because you kind of talked about like the protectiveness. I just think that boundaries are neat. Like, everyone needs boundaries, and especially like within a relationship, like the man is able to set boundaries with his friends, with his family, for the sake of like his family, and like his relationship. So that also like has to do with like taking in account like your feelings about it. So like even when it doesn't make sense, like he's willing to set boundaries, because he's talked to you, he's listened to you, and I don't know. Yeah.
I think another green flag is someone who already acts like they're a husband, in the sense of like, not in the sense of we're married and we're one, but acts like a husband in just like how he acts, and how, because if they're acting like a boyfriend, they're not going to act like a husband when you're married, kind of a thing, you know? And so I think that's another like green flag and something important to look for as a single lady.
I think this is definitely a common known green flag, but I feel like in a man, like, you say something and they remember it and they either like do it or they like, I don't know, like an act or something. You're like, I like this type of flower or whatever, and like this, just the little stuff, remembering that and doing that for you, I think is like such a green flag, because like it makes you feel so special and so important, and like they're listening.
We were just talking about that the other day. It was like the bird theory, and it's about just a man when he recognizes and like takes in account like the little things that you say and shows interest, even if it's like something as dumb as like, I saw a bird outside the window today, like, and he like takes interest in that and asks questions about that because like it excited you and like you chose to tell him, you know? So it's like, it's all about the little things.
Yeah, that's so true.
One more thing, I think when a guy can like laugh at his mistakes, or like take his mistakes like with humility and not like it completely bust his pride, like pride and stuff, I think is also really attractive, because it's like, shows on, again, I feel like it just shows like, I don't want to say a real man, but like it just shows like a lot of
like strong character.
Yeah. And like for any, again, men listening to this, that's what we're looking for. It's just your character. Like you don't have to say the right things. You don't have to do the right things. You don't have to even like look 10 out of 10. We just want someone who's going to clean up our kids' vomit at 2 a.m. with us, you know? Like
emphasis on that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'm so attracted to people's personalities. Like, I just, I don't know. This is not a whole dating episode, and it's turning into one, but that's okay. We're girls. We're just girls. When you are insecure, how do you handle it, like practically, but also just within your heart?
I would say the biggest thing is I don't let myself dwell. I don't think it is, I mean, it's not a good feeling to feel insecure, but we all feel it at some point. So for me, I just know that comparison is the thief of joy. So I really don't let myself dwell on that feeling. I can have it and then we're on to the next, because there's nothing good that comes from dwelling in that. So, and I would say how I do that is really just, I have to remind myself who I am, and say it's someone, like I see someone, they have something I want, or they look the way like I want to look. I sometimes ask myself, which maybe, I don't know if this is good advice or not, but I always think like, is this something that I can change? Because I think I can like look at someone, I'm like, oh wow, like, I don't know, I want to be more like them, but I'm like, okay, like that's a choice. And I also say I can do things. I can do things like internally, externally, to like become more like, so it's like maybe a moment of like insecurity, like, oh my gosh, I don't have that, or but like, what can I do to get there? So I just kind of like change it, because I'm like, if it's something I can control, then like, girl, do it. You know, like go after it. And so I just like try not to like, because otherwise you're just sitting in a feeling, when like I can take action and like go towards something that I want. I don't know if that makes sense, but
That is
so much sense.
Yeah, that is good advice, I think, too, of just like, if you're look at something someone has like physically, and that is something you can kind of control, whether it's, I don't know, losing weight or whatever, you can do things in a healthy way. Do it. Like, go after it. You're not a victim to your circumstances of how you are now. And yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah, and it's like, can we change it from like being like insecure by something you see, and just rather like turn it into like admiration? And I think that's like, oh wow, I really love that, instead of like, oh, I don't have that. I love that she has that, and like, what can I do? I don't know.
I really will try to thank the Lord for whatever I'm feeling insecure about, because I think, again, insecurity, I feel like, can come from a place of lack, of like thinking you're lacking something, or thinking you need to have something to be better somehow. And I think for me, it often will come down to thinking I'm going to be worth more if I X, Y, and Z. And that's where my insecurity comes from. And so just like stripping it down to exactly the root of why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, which takes some like work and some self-awareness, which I think is why people can tend to more just sit in the feeling instead of like do anything about it, because they don't even understand like the root identifier of it. And it's hard and it's uncomfortable to like sit in it for a minute to identify it. But then once you can, like, you can take action, whether it's something you actually want to pursue, or whether it's something you just need to give back to the Lord and walk in the identity he has for you. I think stuff like insecurity and working through it, whatever way you're going to, is not something that happens overnight necessarily. Like, I think regardless, it might be a little uncomfortable and something you have to walk through, but it is something you have to walk through, but you don't have to stay stuck in the feeling of it.
Yeah. And like you said, it really does come down to, do we know who we are? Do we know who the Lord says that we are? and our identity that we have in him, and just like really resting on that. And
if you don't, that's a practical step to like, okay, like go to the Lord and be like, show me, help me to like walk in this.
Yeah. And I think because we had kind of talked about, you know, another podcast we were gonna film, but it's like, if you're worried about like something like you don't have and you want, and like you're insecure about that, like you're gonna lack nothing like when you're walking with the Lord. And like just trust in like the promises that he makes, and just like knowing who you are in his eyes. If you're ever feeling like you're not enough, you're not worth it, like truly just rest in those promises and the things he says about you.
We're gonna do a whole podcast on this, so stay tuned. Kai, do you have anything?
Mine is different. Like, I felt like for a while, like I was insecure about like my walk and how it looked. And I was looking at other Christians. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Your
like,
walk with the Lord?
Yeah.
Okay, I went immediately to your physical walk.
No! Yes. That's so funny.
That's why I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no, my walk with the Lord. For a while, I would like see people doing all these different things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not doing enough, or like I'm lacking in this area. But exactly, it's like you feel like you're lacking something, but like I'm lacking nothing. I'm in Christ Jesus, and like my story in my life is gonna look so different than other people. In comparison, like will literally destroy you. And I think it took me a while to get there, and just to like slow down and just to trust that the Lord, like my life is going to look a lot different than others because I have a different story. I have different perspective on things, and like he will take me through everything he wants me to do in his will. And I just need to stop looking at other people, but like be encouraging towards them of what they're doing, and be excited for people instead of just insecure, like, oh my goodness, I'm not doing enough.
And something my sister and I have both really implemented is like if we're feeling insecure about someone else or something else, we will go up to that person, whether we know them or not, and compliment what we're feeling insecure about, and just be like, hey, I really love this about you, or whatever. And like that also, I feel like, is another aspect to bringing things to the light, where it's not necessarily confessing to someone that you're having that thought, but heaven knows, like God knows, and it's like so an outward expression of that confession of I'm not choosing to partner with this insecurity, but instead I'm going to walk in the truth of what I see in this person, like you were saying, admiration, and call it out in them, and encourage them, and it does something in your heart where it just takes that away, honestly.
I think that is, we'll talk so much more about it, but I feel like it's so easy for girls to see other girls in whatever they're doing. Maybe it's their walk with the Lord, you know, maybe it's how they dress, or, you know, things that they have or experiences that they're having, and really compare like what you're doing versus like what they're doing. I don't know, but yeah, if we can just like try changing that, and like being like complimentary and like encouraging and uplifting, one that just like creates a better environment for everyone. And like that's what I love about our Bible study. I think like there's something so special about like encouraging one another and lifting each other up in every stage, and there's no jealousy, there's nothing like that. Like we're just happy for each other's wins, and there's just so much joy in that, as opposed to feeling, you know, insecure or jealous.
And if it's a win for the kingdom, it's a win for me, you know. So amen. All right, last question. What is something you're excited about right now?
I'm excited about young adults at our church. We're trying to get that going, and really just the future. I feel like there's, who knows where the Lord will take me and things that he'll have me do, but I'm just excited for like the growth that I've had like in him this year, and just excited to see where that goes.
Love that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm really excited to see what the Lord is going to do with my story. Like I truly feel so passionate about it, and I feel like he is going to take that to a whole next level of like helping young girls, and I just can't wait to see what he's going to do for his kingdom and how many people he's going to help through me. And yeah, I'm just so excited about like how much I've grown too with the Lord and my community, and how much we're gonna grow all together. It's just such a beautiful thing to see.
How about you, Kayla?
I'm also just really excited for this year. I feel like this is going to be a year of change for me, and I don't know what that looks like quite, but I think the Lord's going to do a lot. I think I'm very excited. I'm going to Africa in June, and I just can't wait. I think about it like every day. So I'm very excited for that, and yeah, I just know I'm excited, honestly, for what the Lord has as well, which is new for me. Like, usually I'm not. In the past, I've struggled being excited because I've just been so scared of being hurt and disappointment that I haven't ever like let myself get excited. But I'm genuinely so excited for what the Lord has in store. So yeah, that's like giving no detail, but it's true. I don't know. God knows.
But
I don't know
like
the
we're
details.
just excited for what the Lord can do.
Yeah.
We know like he can do anything. So
It's true.
What he's already done and what he's going to continue.
yeah. We're
Yes.
just along for the ride.
Yeah.
What's like just a little one-liner piece of encouragement you want to leave our sweet friends?
Gosh, Kylie, you go first.
One line.
I mean, it can be two, but quick.
Okay, quick. Just that, like, right now, if you're struggling, if you're in pain, if you're going through a really hard season, just know that the Lord's going to turn it for his good, and that he loves you and cares for you more than you could ever fathom.
That's so good.
Word.
That is a word. You really covered everything with that.
The encouragement I want to leave is just the Lord delights in you. He delights in every single part of you. And Zephaniah, I think that's what the book is called, Zephaniah. Yeah. I think it's 3:17 talks about how the Lord delights in us with singing and praises and song. And I just like think we are so easily can be so hard on ourselves. And I think oftentimes we're hard on ourselves in areas where the Lord actually delights over us. And so I just want to encourage you, like, if you're being hard on yourself today or whatever, remember that the Lord delights over you with singing.
That's
So good. Oh gosh. I mean, just kind of like going off of that, the thing that I was thinking to kind of like summarize things that we were talking about is just like remember your identity, remember like who the Lord says that you are. Whether that has to do with like your dating life, just like remember who you are, and that the Lord only wants his best for you. So stand on that. If you're insecure, know who you are, rest on his promises, and yeah, get to know your Father and how much he loves you.
That's a word.
There it is.
Yeah, this wasn't intended to be a dating podcast, and I feel like it kind of was a little bit of one. So
Like, how can we?
that's okay.
Yeah, that's when the Lord
Yeah,
created,
that's where it went, so that's okay. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you both so much for coming on.
You're
Can't wait to do
welcome.
this again.
Thank you. Love you.
I love you both.
guys.
All right, know that we love you. We're praying for you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.